welcome everyone. My name is Carl Holman. I'm the communications manager here at A&D Mortgage. Want to welcome you all to today's Tuesday webinar. Today's topic is going to be a Q&A with our broker support team. And as I remind everybody each week of our ground rules, we have the microphones muted. We'll ask you guys to type in your questions when we get through sort of the formal part of our presentation. We do have a raise hand feature, and we will turn on microphones. It's a smaller audience than usual, possibly later in the webinar if the speakers feel comfortable answering questions directly that way. And then again, just turn off your cell phones so we can give all your attention to the speakers. Today's agenda is pretty much what it says. It's going to be all Q&A. So for those of you who don't know us, we are A&D Mortgage. We've been in the mortgage industry for about 17 years. We're one of the leading non-QM lenders. That's non-qualified mortgages for people who don't typically do that. And those are for loans for borrowers who don't traditionally qualify under government or conventional guidelines. So we deal with a lot of investors, self-employed borrowers, first-time home buyers. So kind of a wide range. We are the primary backer of our loans, so we have the right to make most of our own funding decisions and grant exceptions where it's needed. We are licensed pretty much across most of the country. We've got 40 states where you can do specific business purpose loans without a license. So you can review this at your leisure when you get the recording tomorrow if you have specific state questions. The map is also available on the bottom of our homepage. So again, if you've got specific questions as to where we lend. So we figured we would start off today with how do we support our broker community? So collectively, the team worked together and we put together kind of a nice, short 1.5 minute video that will answer sort of at a very high level what the questions are, what we do. And then we can start fielding the questions directly from you to the ladies. So.
Brokers are busy people, and sometimes a problem arises that could stall your submissions or closings. At A&D Mortgage, our team is here to help. Maybe you've gotten stuck in a tech platform. Struggled to submit a complete 1003? Had some difficulty getting updates on a file? Or any other challenging situation? No problem. We've got you covered. Whenever you're having a problem of any kind, first contact your ever-helpful account executive. If they can't resolve your issue, reach out to our outstanding broker support team. They make problems disappear. That's what they do, and in a crazy world of messages, recordings, and phone trees to nowhere, isn't it great to speak directly with a calm, reassuring, and dependable person who's going to make your life a little easier? Need your problem solved? Together, your account executive and broker support team are here to say yes to helping you. That's what we do at A&D Mortgage.
Okay. Oops. Get away from that. Go back to the presentation. Okay, and so I will introduce our calm and supporting team members in just a second. Nadia Smokovin and Natalia Matsopa. They will go ahead and start taking questions now from folks, and then I'll be back after they're done and we'll wrap things up. So Nadia, Natalie, the floor is yours.
Hey guys, I see that a lot of familiar names are signed up. Happy to see you on our session. So this will be very interactive question answer. We don't really have a usual setup as we do on the weekly Integra trainings. So whatever you guys are interested to see in our new portal, we will be more than happy to show you how to work with it as well as questions on our procedures and the process on the file workflow itself. So the main question that we get from our brokers, not on the procedural level, but on what's the broker support about and when they should actually call broker support, is that we are here, as you saw in the video, to make your life easier. However, you should remember that account executive is always your first point of contact. So if you have any like scenario question or the question about the file that is actually in the process of disclosures, processing, underwriting, so that's the person whom you're contacting is going to be your account executive. If you have any issues with the program itself, like with the LOS, do you need the submission training, like anything technical, that's us. So whenever you are not able to run credit, AUS, you can submit the file, you want to have a training for your company or for yourself, you're more than welcome to reach out to us. We will accommodate the training, we will accommodate the time to assist you with those questions. We have a Q&A session, so feel free to type in your questions. So far, we have several questions already in our system. And the first one is asking, how can we get in touch with an underwriter? So let me show you a little bit about our portal and how you can get the information on who's the underwriter and who's actually working on your file other than underwriter. So hold on a sec, I'll take control of Carl's screen.
There you go.
So this is, we are registered in our new system, in our new portal, Integra. So you guys, every user on the file will be able to see all the contact names related to the file, as well as from your side and our side. So you go to loan contacts, you will have like a little different layout here because we have different access, but you will have the loan contacts option as well. And if you want to reach out to your underwriter, you need to go to the originating lender, highlight it, and it's going to give you the drop down of people who are actually already assigned. So if we are talking about the file that has been underwriter approved, you will have the information about the underwriter on the file here with the direct information, with direct contact as phone number and email, as well as on the approval letter, you will have that information as well. Another question is okay, are your guidelines available on the website? Yes, they are. So you need to go to our website, resources, documents and forms, and you have the guidelines section here, as well as like all the forms that you guys will need to work with the file. They will be on this page as well. And guidelines are broken down into non-QM and conventional programs. So you're more than welcome to use this page to review our programs.
Okay, I think I'm going to take over here. Hi, guys. Welcome. My name is Natalia. We're happy to see you here. And we have a few more questions. So the next question we have is, what is your turn time? So currently our disclosure turn time is 24 to 48 hours. Our underwriting turn time is 24 hours. And at the moment, closing turn time is 48 hours. However, it varies week to week. For example, last week we were at 24 hours. This week we're at 48 hours. But you can also find all of our turn time information on our website. So yeah, everything's at 24 except closings are at 48 right now. Next question now. Where can we find wholesale rates? So if we're speaking about non-QM rates, you can find them on our website. Give me just a second, we'll show you. So you'll go to Tvd Mortgage. Clearly, I cannot type. /rate. Okay, there we are. It will be password protected. So the password for this is AD mortgage, all lowercase, all spelled together. And here are going to be our rates. So it's going to be divided into prime, jumbo, and different program types. So you'll just click on it and view the rate sheet for today's date. You'll also see the effective date on top. If we are speaking about conventional FHA, you should, if you're already an approved broker with us, you should be getting daily rates to your email. If you do not get them, please contact your account executive and they'll be able to accommodate that for you. They'll be able to add you to the email distribution list. Let's see what's the next question. What is your submission package? So also for our submission checklist, we have on our website. So you will go to resources, documents and forms. And by the way, under the documents and forms, you'll find a lot of useful resources. All of our forms will be located here. Our sample letters, our broker packages, as well as annual research are going to be here. Or if you need to sign up another branch, the branch assignment form is going to be located here. But let's go back to the program submission checklist. They'll be located in here under this tab, and they'll be divided into separate programs. So for example, for our DSCR loan, if you open it, you will see what's needed in order for the file to be disclosed, as well as what is needed in order for the file to be sent to underwriting for initial approval. Okay.
Okay, so let's see what is the other question. Okay, so the question is regarding the video tutorials for the new LOS. So that is something that is available already on our website. We have a video and the manual tutorial. So to locate it, you need to go in the partner login page. Hold on, let me again request remote control. Carl, can you please accept?
Yeah, go ahead. Could you do that one more time? There you go. There you go.
Perfect. So you guys need to go to the partner login page. And to locate it, you need to scroll down here and you have the video and the actual manual for the new system. New system is pretty easy to understand. It's very, very straightforward. The only thing, I'm pretty sure that some of you guys were already trying to submit files there. Not everything goes smoothly yet because we're still working on the system. We're still discovering it. So you still have the access to submit files to open close in case something goes really wrong and the file gets stuck. Please go to our old system to submit it or report the issue to us or to IT department. So the manuals, you can access it in the PDF. It has all the information. Feel free to use Control F to find like something specific that you are looking for. And the next question I have that I can't log in the system. So if we are speaking about this, about new system, your credentials would be always your email address. So whatever is your working email address that you have used to like sign up with us, that's what you need to use as your username. And if you never received any password, just use the forgot password button. If that still doesn't work, there are two ways to figure out what's the issue. So every company has the admin user. By default, it's the branch manager. So if you feel that that's easier to reach out to your branch manager, they are able to reset your password themselves. So let me show you how that works. So it's under administration tool. This is something that is available only for admin users. they go under user administration. There will be like, if there is a list of users, there will be listed here on the bottom of the page with an edit option. I will just use the add new user bar to show you how it looks. And to reset credentials, they will just click on this checkbox to reset it. One more thing, whenever you guys, like if your admin user is adding new credentials, new username in this system, it's not going to generate any email to the new user. So what they need to do, they need to just provide them with their login name that they have used here and the password that it shows in this grayed out box. So that's how they can generate and they can share their credentials to the new member. That's something that people might not know, but that's covered in the manual as well. Okay. Guys, please feel free to ask any type of questions, because I know that's right now, like we have many tickets, many requests for broker support. So I'm pretty sure that you guys have questions. So please don't be shy and ask whatever is not clear.
Did you see there's a question over in the chat? What influences how
I see
often
there's one question.
turn times change?
So that is the question from our team. That's something that we will go over.
I would say volume.
Yeah, it's just the volume.
It's just the volume, depending how many loans we get for that week. You know, how many employees are actually on vacation or not. But mostly, yes, it's just the volume. But we'll go over that later on.
Okay,
let
my
me
credit.
see if we have any more questions.
My credit agency doesn't appear in the drop down. So that's again about the admin setup. So you guys need to remember that a new LOS, that's something that we asked your account executives to deliver to you guys, is that before trying to submit your first file, you need to go to administration tool and set up your company. So if you haven't selected credit agencies that you guys are working with, they will never pop up in the drop down by themselves. So how it works, the admin user, if you guys want to become an admin user and do that for your company, please request it from us and we will set you up as an admin user and you will have this option for yourself. Or you can reach out to your branch manager or to our team, IT team, to help you to do that. But you go to the company administration and it's all going to be filled out with the company information. And what you need to do is to go to credit bureaus and select those credit companies that you guys work with. It can be several, it can be all of them, but unless you have something listed here, only those companies will pop up in the drop down. So once you have selected, you just save it and you go under user administration to apply credentials to each user. If you guys use same set of credentials for every user in the company, you can apply credentials in the company level. If every user has their own set of credentials, it has to be done for each user separately. So that's kind of the workflow here. And once that is done, it's going to be all set for your future files, and you can just move forward with your submissions without any issues with the credit agencies popping up in the drop down. Natalia, go ahead.
Okay, so the next question we have is, it's okay. We'll share URL error on the credit report. So currently, since like Nadia said, we're still developing the system and learning about it more and more each day. We've noticed that when you try to reissue credit report through credit button, it'll give you an error saying missing credit server URL. So the workaround that is to reissue your credit through AUS, either DU or LP, and I'll show you how it's done. Let me request remote control. Carl, if you would, please.
There you
go. Okay. Okay, so instead of, if you do, always first try to reissue the credit report through credit report. But if you do encounter any error, you are more than welcome to do it through AUS, and that's how we would suggest you to do it if you have an error. So you'll go to AUS Access. In order for you to reissue credit through DU, you'll always need to have your credentials, your credit credentials set up, just like Nadia just showed you. If you're going to reissue through LP, the credentials are not necessary. So you will pick which one you want. So either Access DU or Access LPA. You will put in your reference number. You'll check here, reissue, update credit, and then you'll just click on Access AUS. Once it's done, you're going to be able to view your credit report under this View Credit button. Let me see if something's there now. But please always remember for DU, you need to have your credentials set up. So this is how the reissued credit report is going to look like. And as far as I know, IT is currently working on only adding the LP button, so you won't need your credentials in order to reissue your credit report, right, Nadia? That's always how they updated us.
So far, that's what we have.
So far, that's what we have. That's bypass workaround, but it'll be easier. We promise you. Let's see. So I see we don't have any new questions in the chat. Let's answer what we have. How to change LO processor on the file. So same process as we look up whoever's working in the file. So it's going to be in the loan context. So you will go to Wholesale Broker, that's your company, you'll highlight it. And here you're going to have Broker LO and Broker Processor. So if you need to change LO or Processor, you'll just click on this pencil icon to edit, and you will pick the correct LO, whoever needs to be assigned to the file. And same goes for the loan processor. So once you apply the change, you'll just click OK to save.
Yeah, the only thing is that once the file has been submitted, the loan officer,
you won't be able to.
Yeah, only processor can be changed. Once the file is submitted, loan officer will be not editable. But if you need to change that for some reason, you just reach out to us, and depending on the status of the file, we will reach out to either compliance or underwriter to apply those changes. One more thing about about loan officer and processor is that if you can't locate the person in the drop down, please make sure that they have a correct setup, because in the user setup, they need to have the classification like either the loan officer or processor or admin. So if, for example, a loan officer is also processing files for other people, he needs to be set up with two accesses, like the same username, but it's going to be two categories applied for that user.
We can show them. Probably let's go to administration. So user administration. Actually, we don't have it here.
You can just add new user probably.
Yeah, I'll just do. No, I'll look at. Okay, we don't have anybody here, so let's add new user. So this is what we were talking about. So your users will be here, and whoever, so for example, a user is a loan officer, a processor, and an admin at the same time. So you will need to select all of these categories and you'll need to move them to the right, because if you only mark this person as a loan originator, they won't be able to process loans for other originators. They'll just be able to do it for themselves. Same goes for the processor. If they're a processor and also an originator, those two need to be selected. So you just highlight it and then you move it to the right. Or if you need to remove any category, you'll highlight it and move that person to the left side. Okay. All right, and I have another question here. Can I submit a TVD loan? Currently, we do not accept any TVD properties. We used to do them, but not at this time. So whenever we will resume, we'll let everybody know.
Okay, here's another question in the chat. Someone freshly joined and didn't see how to create credentials for the UN credit. So by the way, since you missed that part, we have a manual for you for the future if you will forget how to do that on the website on the login page. If you will scroll down after the login page, you will be able to locate the manual, and I will show requesting the control of the screen. Carl, please accept. I will show how it works in the system again.
But here's where the manual is.
So in the system, you need to be set up as an admin to be able to see that, or every branch manager is having a setup, an admin setup. So you need to go to the company administration first and select on the company level which credit bureaus are you guys using. And you just move those companies that you are using from this side to the right side. So you are adding to preferred list and save changes. So those are the companies who will be popping up in the drop-down. And to add credentials, you go, once that is done, you go to the user administration. You select your user and click edit. Since there are no users, I can't do that. And you go to the add credit bureau credentials here. And whatever credit agencies you have selected on the company level will pop up in this drop down, and you just apply your username and password. This one is for credit. If you guys have a credit agency that has several separate set of credentials for the AUS, you will need to provide it here. If it's the same, you just keep it blank, click OK, and that's how you are saving your credentials. Okay. I can't price an investment loan in a new system. So I assume that is about a prepayment penalty issue that we are facing right now. So whenever, guys, you can't float or log the loan that is eligible, you know for sure that the pricing should appear there, please reach out to Log Desk. It's log@admortgage.com, and they will assist you manually. Since now we are facing few difficulties with the system, that might be the case, and sometimes you might need to reach out to departments to assist you manually. The same thing applies. I don't know if you guys are trying to submit files today. If you have any difficulties with actual submission, if you are clicking on submit to A&D mortgage button and it doesn't move your file forward, it gives you some hard stops that you are sure that it was filled out, please report it to us and we will just move file manually as well, like on the broker support level. So if you have something like that, just give us a call right away. You can skip your account executive, just give us a call. Okay. Guys, don't be shy.
Next one, next one I have here. Do you accept appraisal transfers? Yes, we do, but please keep in mind it only has to be from one lender to another lender. So for example, you're transferring a loan from Angel Oak, it has to be from Angel Oak to A&D Mortgage. It cannot be Angel Oak, then ABC Mortgage, and then A&D Mortgage. So from one lender to another, we'll just need the whole appraisal package as well as appraisal transfer letter. that transfer letter, how it should look and what language it should include will be in our guidelines. So again, our guidelines can be accessible on our website, or you can also contact your account executive and they'll assist you with that as to what's needed for the appraisal transfer. Let me see, I think we have one live question here. Thank you. I was unable to change the estimated closing date on my end prior to requesting disclosures. What is the best way to resolve this? So this actually is a good question. After loan submission, after you hit submit to A&D, you're not able to change anything in the file. But what you can do is every file will have, Carl, give me a second.
I will
Let me
open
remote.
it now.
Request remote. Okay, go ahead. So every file has loan comments section, which is pretty much, well, I don't see it here. Oh, there it is under price lock.
Yep.
No, it's
No,
loan
that's loan
contact.
contacts. Yeah, it doesn't have here because we are admins, so it's a little
We're
different.
admins, but just like loan contacts, it'll have loan comments. So what you can do, you can just put a comment, please change closing date to so-and-so, and our disclosure department or whoever currently has the file will be able to change it, because those comments are reviewed by every department all the time. So that's no big deal. We have more and more questions. I like it. I had submitted to A&D yet and couldn't change it. Okay, looks like it's the same question here. Oh, I hadn't submitted to A&D yet and couldn't change it. I would just suggest to leave a comment there and our team will take care of that. What
So-
about if you already have, go ahead, Nadia.
To change it, I just want to make sure that we are on the same page. You should have, do you have an, like, check if you have an active 1003. If it is active, you just need to go on the page 1 of the application and change the closing date. Don't remember where it's exactly. But that shouldn't like be a very big issue, even if it's not active. Just like really leave a comment and disclosure team will apply those changes. Like on any stage of the file, you will be able to adjust that date without any issues.
I think it should be the page, I think it's on page 2, Nadia. You can check closing date.
It's
No,
definitely
it's
not on page
employment.
2. What about if we already have an appraisal order by ourselves through AMC, like class valuation? So if you guys are a broker, that is fine. If you are a borrower and you have ordered this through class valuation, that's not gonna work. So it has to be from lender to a lender. It doesn't matter through which AMC have you ordered it, as long as it's like from one lender to another without any another third party.
And and I just wanted to mention, so if so it does have to be a lender, because if a broker orders it on behalf of their name, it's not gonna work, because per appraisal compliance, a broker cannot order an appraisal in their name, so it has to be through a lender. Yeah, and like Nadia said, if it's a borrower, then it's not gonna work.
Okay, how can we have an underwriter to review a file? So that's actually a nice feature of this system. I'm not sure if I will have, let me see what files I have here. So once the file has been approved, you will have, oh, this one was approved. No, unfortunately, I don't have any like approved test files to show you that. But once the file is approved and when you're opening your conditions, so once the file is approved, you have this approval letter here. It's going to be like a nicely looking PDF version of your approval that you can share with your borrower, for example. And on the left-hand side in the workflow menu, you will have your actual conditions tab, where you are working on your conditions, where you're uploading conditions, and where the file is being reviewed by Underwriter. So on top of that conditions work environment, like where you're actually able to upload conditions, there will be a button which is called Submit to Underwriter. So that is something, if you guys have been working with our previous LOS, with the old system, you had to update lender. That's not the same thing. So that's actually the button that transfers your file straight to Underwriter's pipeline. So it's gonna give you a message that the file has been needs to be like at least having the 80% of conditions. So that's something that we are encouraging you to follow this rule. So you can use that button if you got an appraisal or you have almost complete file to be reviewed by Underwriter. So either 80% of conditions or brand new appraisal uploaded, then you can transfer the file to an Underwriter. And if you want to follow up, again, I showed you before where you can find the contact information of an underwriter in the context of the file, or on actual approval, there will be provided the phone number and email as well. So you can follow up with them if needed.
Okay, I'll take the next question. How can I remove a duplicate file? So for right now, unfortunately, there is not a button to remove the file or cancel the file. So what you can do, if file has not been submitted, if you accidentally exported it, or if you change your mind, borrower changed their mind, you can just, instead of the last name, you can delete the last name and type in delete. That's how our team will be able to delete the file. If the file has been already submitted, you'll need to email your account executive so the file can be transferred to our compliance department for proper disposition of the file. Can we submit file in the old system? Yes, although we do encourage you to use our new system because, I mean, eventually the old system is gonna have to go, and you know, the more files we submit, the more proficient we become in it, you know, and the more feedback we're gonna get in order to fix it. So you can, long story short, you can submit it in the old system. If you have any problems with the new system, for example, you cannot log in, you cannot price a loan, it's giving you an error, and the file is absolutely time sensitive. So in those cases, you can still use our old system. But if you can, please use the new one. Let's see, we have new questions in chat.
Yeah,
Okay, I have a question here about the, I'm a processor working for several brokers. Do I need separate set of credentials for all of them? So in this system, like if we're talking about a new LOS, you don't need separate set of credentials. So whenever you're logging in with the one access, and it's going to give you a drop down of the brokers that are assigned to you, and you will just select the one that you're working on the current file, and it's going to give you the access. If we are talking about the old system, then yes, you have separate sets of credentials, separate username and password for each of the brokers you are processing for. Okay, and I also see a new chat question about condo without a sufficient coverage on the master's policy, and the workaround of it. So that's kind of the question that should go to your account executive. So everything scenario-wise, guidelines, like everything of that matter should go through your AE, because they can suggest you based on our guidelines and based on what you can get exception for.
Or if the loan has been already submitted, if it's for an active loan, you can reach out to your account manager or the processor, and they'll be able to advise on that.
Okay, guys, any more questions? Because we don't have too many questions. I'm surprised because the amount of questions we have
Because
on
we
our
get so many
email.
of them during the day.
Okay.
If not, I can go ahead and start doing the wrap up.
Let's answer. I have one more here. How can we schedule a training session with broker support? So we strongly recommend that you email us or you email your account executive and then copy us so it can be coordinated. Although we can accommodate it on the same day, but it's not always guaranteed. You know, we would much more prefer if the trainings are scheduled. That way we can give you more time. That way we can cover everything in detail. That way your account executive is going to be on the line with us and you can ask them any questions, you know, that you might have. So please, if you can, schedule the trainings with us through an email in advance.
And we've got your contact information on screen at the moment. Just for those people who don't have it, it's brokersupport@tvdmortgage.com. And the
I'm
phone
sure
number.
everybody knows that email.
Okay, just in case.
I know.
Okay, is that the last question, folks? I'll go through the wrap up and we'll leave another
Yeah,
minute
if there
or
will
two
be
just
any
for folks just
other
in case.
questions, yeah, we'll answer
Yeah.
them.
So this is just a couple quick reminders of how the brokers can stay in touch with us or some of the tech tools that we have to help them. A few weeks ago or a few months ago, we launched our enhanced quick pricer to make it a little bit easier for you to price loans on the fly. The Appraisal Center, we launched earlier this year to centralize all of our approved AMCs under one roof, and you can place all your orders there. And then the 80 Studio, that's sort of our all-in-one marketing platform for approved brokers, where you can go on and make flyers and customizable postcards and things like that. We've had some individual trainings on each of these. We'll probably have some other ones in the upcoming months. For those of you who don't know. And then in terms of, we are continuing the webinar series for the next few weeks, the ones we've got lined up. Next week, we're going to talk about cash out refinancing and how you can work with them. The week after, we're going to look at some sales strategies. The week after that, we're going to look specifically at our jumbo and prime jumbo programs. And then the week after, we're going to do a kind of a high-level overview of correspondent lending for those people who may be interested in delving into that part of the lending sphere. As always, we recorded the video, these individual webinars, and we have them posted typically within 24 hours on AD Learning Center. The website is admortgage.com/learning-center. You'll also receive an email from Zoom tomorrow that will give you links to the recorded videos as well. So, and if not, you can always reach out to marketing@admortgage.com and we can hook you guys up. We also have a number of social media platforms: Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and a newer service called Telegram that's fairly popular in Europe. And then we've got 2 exchange forums that we're participants in with other lenders, where you can put up scenarios or questions or tell them how great our broker support team is. And those are both over on LinkedIn and Facebook as well. They're both called Non-QM Exchange. And then when the time comes for you to log out of this webinar, there'll be a brief 5-question survey. It takes about a minute just to give us your feedback. And that's everything I had to cover. See if there's any more last minute questions. If not, we'll go ahead and get things wrapped up. So
It looks like no more questions.
Looks like no more for me as well.
okay.
You guys feel free to email us if you do have any questions. I'm sure those will arise. We'll be glad to answer them for you.
And with that, thank you, Natalie, Nadia, for a great webinar. We look forward to hopefully having others with you in the future. And we thank everybody who has joined us for today, and hopefully we will see you at the next webinar in the future. So have everyone have a great day.
Thank you guys. Have a great day.
Thank you guys for joining. Have a good day. Bye-bye.